Now, we've seen multiple clips going around of members of the GOP not happy with Donald Trump's $1.8 billion slush fund for the people who illegally invaded the Capitol on January 6th. And in this clip, we're going to see the entire panel just melt down, but we're going to see Charles Blow go back and forth with Donald Trump's sycophant, Ben Ferguson, over Republicans losing their spine when it comes to standing up to Donald Trump. As usual, let's watch the clip in full. I'll give you guys my thoughts towards the end.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Dean in tonight for Abby Phillip. And tonight is President Trump losing his tight grip on Republican lawmakers. His crusade against GOP candidates who defied him has certainly been effective. But as for the ones currently working in the Senate chamber, it appears support is slipping.
There is some backlash among Senate Republicans to some of the other priorities, the ballroom and the anti-weaponization fund. You clearly still have a strong hold on the Republican Party. Your candidates did very well this week during the primaries. But are you losing control of the Senate, sir? Are you losing control of the Senate Republicans?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you, I only do what's right.
Trump's agenda taking a big hit this week. Many Republican senators speaking out against funding for his billion-dollar ballroom. The Senate parliamentarian ultimately sinking that, and his $1.8 billion fund to compensate victims of alleged weaponized prosecution was so unpopular, it derailed Republicans' plans to pass a major immigration enforcement package. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was on the Hill today to defend that fund to lawmakers, but that didn't go over well. A source telling CNN hardly anyone defended the fund in that closed-door meeting, and Blanche faced stiff resistance. Senator Ron Johnson telling CNN's Manu Raju a colleague called the fund a, quote, galactic blunder. Johnson agreed with that assessment, and he wasn't the only one. Listen to this.
I do not support the weaponization fund as it has been described.
I just don't know how this puppy dog will work. I'm not sure where the money's coming from. I'm not sure who's going to decide. I don't know anything about anything.
We need more information on it. I mean, we discussed it yesterday, but that's why it's coming back, is we need more information.
These people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison. But this is, this is just stupid on stilts.
Do you think you have colleagues that share the same concerns that you're expressing?
Yeah, they do, and they need to speak up. I mean, this is beyond the pale. This is not good for my colleagues. There's no one positive thing that could be spun out of this between now and November. This is bad policy, it's bad timing, and it's bad politics.
We're joined now by tonight's guests at the table. Interesting, too, hearing from Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who drew the line from what's happening politically with President Trump going after some of these sitting senators and endorsing others in their primaries, somebody like Bill Cassidy, John Cornyn, and what we're seeing play out in the Senate. Ben, let's start with you. Do you think he's losing some of the very tight grip he's had for a very long time?
I think he's lost people he didn't endorse, which is, welcome to politics. And I think he's trying to make sure he's got a better team moving into the next 2 years of his term. I think that's the reason why he decided to, for example, endorse Ken Paxton in Texas, where I'm from, and to say, look, guys that aren't really fighting hard right now, who are establishment, I'm not going to back you. Cassidy in Louisiana is the same example of that. He wants an upgrade there. And I think proof that he's making the right choice is the fact that these guys, as soon as they knew they were out, they're like, I don't like you. It's personal. And by golly, I'm giving you nothing until the day I leave here. It's spoiled milk. It is what it is, but they'll be gone in January. So I think the president's making the right decision.
But until then, they still have power in the Senate.
Yeah, I mean, they do. They have a lot of power. But I also think the president's playing the long game. He understands that he wasn't going to get as much of his agenda done if you have people behind the scenes that are fighting against you in your own party. He dealt with that for 4 years when he was in office the first time. And I think that's why he's now way more outspoken on this, saying, I'm finding teammates who understand what we're doing with America First agenda. That, too, I'm going to endorse. That, too, I'm going to fight for. And by the way, the Republican Party said yes to all of those candidates from the president this last week. They said, we trust you, we like your agenda, and we're going to send those people to Washington. And incumbents who had an insane amount of money come in. Cornyn's a great example of this. The amount of money they wasted in D.C. with the elites there to try to save him, it's been a disaster. He won't be going back to Washington, D.C., and I think he even knows it.
Look, it's a Shakespearean story, like from the famous line from Hamlet, he's being hoisted on his own petard. He was so eager to punish them for even the most minor deviations from loyalty to him, that he has made them all angry. Yes, I agree. I would like for them not to just show courage and conviction when they're on their way out the door. I want them to show courage and conviction when they're in the room, when they're on their way into the door. But it seems like, spines are like flickering lights in the Republican.
Courage to be mad at the president because you lost. That's not courage.
Spines are like flickering lights in the Republican Party. Sometimes you see it, and just as soon as you see it, it goes away. I remember these same Republicans standing up after J6 and saying, oh, this is a horrible day. This is a horrible thing. And some of this blame lays at the feet of the president. And then for the next 4 years, they caught amnesia, right? Because they don't believe, there's no conviction. The spine melted, and everybody fell in line.
Dude, that would be you guys saying Joe Biden was a good candidate. If you want to talk about falling in line, no spine. You guys told us that Joe Biden was like sane and mentally competent when he clearly wasn't, and lied to the American people and then covered up the incompetence. So don't lecture me about moral clarity here from a party.
Melting was
Joe Biden was a disaster, and you guys covered it up and looked in the cameras. All of the Democrats said, he runs laps around me. He's on his A game. He's so good at this. And then you want to sit here and say that, man, I wish these Republicans would send us Trump.
I don't know what all this is about.
Come on.
So I'm going to, all that screaming, all that high-pitched screaming, I'm just going to talk to you and say this. The spines disappeared.
Of Democrats.
The spines disappeared, and he doesn't want to acknowledge that.
You guys say Joe Biden is sane.
Cowards. They are cowards. The people, even the people who speak up for him, are cowards because they don't even have the conviction.
Actually, I would actually argue the opposite with the topic at hand, which is this $2 billion fund. Is that I think Trump should remember that there's still fiscal conservatives among some of the lawmakers in Congress, and so when they look at a $1.8 billion price tag, they do cringe. But I think what's missing from that discourse about this fund is the fact that there's an existing mechanism for it. It's called the Judgment Fund. The Founding Fathers even used it during the early days of the Republic. Basically, if someone is victorious in a lawsuit against the federal government, there has to be a fund to pay them out a settlement. And so what this anti-weaponization fund that the left is fear-mongering about right now is a derivation of that existing mechanism. Now, what...
No, it's a bastardization of it.
What's missing from this fund is common sense.
Where are the fiscal conservatives when they were blowing the deficit with this big, beautiful bill that was going to add trillions of dollars to the deficit? So where are they then? I just need to figure out how this works out for you.
Well, the opportunity cost there was, the 2017 tax cuts actually generated real wage increases for many Americans, household income growth, and so that was what was going to be earned at the end of passing.
Yes, it also cost the Treasury $1.5 trillion in lost revenue.
And it also generated a lot of gains for the average American.
What's the price tag on it?
Who are the average Americans who got it? Because hundreds of thousands of Americans right now can't afford to live. So the big case here for them is that they cannot afford to pay their bills.
Are you saying you're against no tax on tips and no tax on overtime?
I'm saying Americans can't afford their bills.
I'm saying that's why we did that.
Affordability is a problem.
That is not why you did that. That is
You're
not why you
also
did
cutting
that.
funds at rural hospitals. People cannot afford health care.
So
hang on. Terry, I want to get to you, and I
got a little fact check. The Judgment Fund was de minimis. Until the 1950s, there had to be a vote of Congress for every dime that was spent out of the Treasury. They then enlarged that Judgment Fund. Obama used it in an even bigger way, and this is a complete bastardization of it. It is not an early American notion that the president can just spend money without congressional approval.
I agree there needs to be congressional approval, but it does stem from something that already exists.
Let's be clear about one thing about the fund. Number one, it's not going to pass right now the way it is.
Good.
There's a lot of Senate Republicans, some that I've talked to, that have said it is going to be changed if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it didn't happen over the weekend. So I do think this is part of how the sausage is made. Let's also be clear. If you are violent, you don't get money from this. If you are violent, and the Trump administration doesn't, and the Trump family doesn't get anything from this. They get no payout.
Hang on, Ben, I got to fact check that because we don't know yet.
No, the DOJ put out a list and they said that they will not get a reward from this, and they cannot make claims to it.
No, not the Trump family part. I'm talking about if you were violent against police. What we have right now is that Todd Blanche told Paula Reed last night it's going to go to this committee. and that they're going to pick, the president is going to pick, and Congress will have approval of one of 5, and the president can fire any of them at any time. And those are the people who will decide.
Blanchett was talking to members of Congress today and has made it very clear to them, if you are someone who is convicted and you are violent,
well,
okay, if you're violent.
Do you remember before the election when they said that the pardons would not go to violent people as well? And then the first day, all of them got pardons?
I just have to keep it
I go back to Congress.
that we have right now.
Congress.
That's not the
I
case.
go back, but I go amnesia. Hold on. No, Congress. I go back.
So amnesia.
It's not amnesia. I just said, and I'll say it again. The Senate, those that are Republicans, have made it clear. The way that it stands, it will have 3 things clearly in it. Number 1, if you're violent, you don't get money. Number 2, the Trump family's already made this clear in the settlement. They will not get money, and they won't get a settlement, and they can't make claims.
If it's your money and don't give it your slush fund,
it's not a slush fund.
If you were wrongfully attacked, let's go with the Catholics for a second.
Wait.
Hold on, let's go with the Catholics for a second. I'm going to go with the Catholic example.
People
Hang on,
went
Terry,
into the
go ahead.
Capitol. 3,500, 700 charged. These are the worst of the worst. These are people who went to the Capitol.
Hold on, no pause.
Wait,
they're not all
going
bad.
to
They were
finish.
not all bad.
I'm going 700.
We're gonna
76-year-old women.
And the reason they were the worst of the worst is because they went there with the worst motive a citizen of a democracy can have. They went to silence the vote of the people, as confirmed and affirmed by the 50 sovereign states of this country and by 60 courts of law, and they wanted to stop that.
If you're
they were the worst.
let me ask you, hold on. If you're
Okay, Ben, go ahead.
75, 76, 77, 78-year-old woman.
Stay at home.
Whoa,
They had
that's
a
being a
choice.
free country.
No, stay home. It was an issue when they decided to
So
vote.
no
When
freedom
it
of speech, no
already
freedom of expression, you can't walk
Those
into the
votes were
Capitol.
counted.
You can't walk in the Capitol. You are
The Democratic Party wants, hey, if
That
you're
grandmother
stay home right now.
Hang on.
Stay home.
Hang on.
Stay home
And
if
it
you're
was
old.
the
All this yelling doesn't accomplish anything. All this yelling he's doing doesn't
Stay
accomplish
home if you're an
anything.
old person. Democratic Party says you have no word in America and Washington.
You can't change the votes of those who have already cast.
If the door was open,
Door was open. You are. This is ridiculous.
I'm asking you a very serious
No, you're
question.
not asking a serious question.
Yes, I am.
You're asking
Were there doors open on January
You're
6th?
asking a
signs in front of them
ridiculous
saying,
question.
do not
and
enter.
being
Were there
ridiculous.
I'm going to call. Okay, I got to call it. You can't walk. You cannot just walk into the Capitol.
knows
I
that.
covered
He
it.
knows
You
he
have to
can't
go
do
through a
it.
metal detector. That being said, we have much more to discuss, and it's going to be lively. So that's good. We have a lot more.
So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there, but I just want to give you guys some of my points. So what Charles Blow said in regards to Republicans not having a spine, without a shadow of a doubt, January 6th is the perfect example of Republicans not having a spine and them just showing that when it comes to Donald Trump, there is no extent that he cannot go to. The reality is this: so many Republicans came out and they stood up against Donald Trump because, number one, I believe the majority of them don't like him personally anyway, but they know that their voters, their base, they are part of MAGA, so they have to put out the act that they are a fan of Donald Trump. But after they saw that Donald Trump's base didn't give a damn about what happened on J6, a lot of them, like Charles Blow said, their spine melted and they fell back in line with the president. Now, Republicans, conservatives, these are people who don't like big government. They don't like big government spending. But taking a look at all the things that Donald Trump has done, all of the things go against what it means to be a conservative. The $1.8 billion that is going to be paid out to January 6thers, this is taxpayer money. This isn't Trump's money. It's not donor money. This is taxpayers' money that's going to be handed to people that have been convicted of attacking police officers. Now, if a Democrat did this for something like Black Lives Matters protesters, Republicans would shut the government down over it. There would be an utter and complete meltdown because of it. And the reality is this: Republicans, if once again a Democrat done this and there was zero congressional oversight over the fund, these people would be losing their mind. Imagine if Joe Biden or Barack Obama done this, and Joe Biden or Barack Obama could fire anyone on the board that's running it for any reason at any time. That is not a justice fund. That is a personal piggy bank with the DOJ logo on it. And guess what? Donald Trump is the person that dictates who gets to take from the fund and who doesn't. Like, this is mental. And the very fact that the DOJ's own lawyer literally, the Treasury Department's own lawyer resigned moments after it was announced. That tells you straight away, this is not right. And it's not legitimate. So Ben Ferguson, and I believe her name is Emily Austin, sitting there trying to defend this is honestly just embarrassing. But it should be no surprise to us. This is MAGA, and this is what MAGA do. They have no spine when it comes to Donald Trump, but they believe they have all the answers when it comes to anything opposed to Donald Trump. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. The fact that these guys will defend anything Donald Trump does, it just lets me know that there's absolutely no hope for these guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Do the usual, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.